Today I'm going to show you how you can create some gradebook comments, and I'll show you also how to take them out of the gradebook after you've used them if you so choose to, and I'll show you how those gradebook comments can be set up so that they can calculate into the student's grade if you want. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we are logged into our gradebook, and then on the blue ribbon go to the gradebook tab, just hover over it and then go down to the third one, Gradebook Setup, and click on that, which will take you to the page where you set up your weights if you're doing weighted grades, or where you set up to have total points if you chose to do total points this year. Now, a little bit right of center, you'll see three more tabs, and the third one over is Gradebook Comments. If you click on that, it'll bring you to this page. If you've never created or edited a gradebook comment before, then your page is going to have the 5 default district-wide school division created comments that you see here. Now, you can edit any of these if you'd like, or you can create a brand new one. It's completely up to you. Today, I'm actually going to walk you through doing both. So first, instead of reinventing the wheel, I like this late assignment, or late comment, excuse me here. I know I'm probably going to use it because I know some of my students will turn in late work. So instead of reinventing the wheel and starting all over, I'm just going to edit this code that's already set up. To do that, all I have to do, and you'll see it doesn't matter which one I go over, all I have to do is scroll over the row that comment code is in, and a blue edit box appears all the way to the left. I click on that, and then it opens up for me. I can change the comment if I want to, but why do that? The reason why I decided to use this one and edit it was because I liked that it was late. Sequence. The sequence box has to have a number in it, but it really has no bearing on the comment at all. What number is in there. You can even repeat numbers if you want to. So as long as it has a number, we're good to go. Not scored value. A not scored value, that is the value that you can put in there if you want to have calculated into the student's grade if that assignment is not turned in. Now, since this is late work, that means that the assignment will be turned in, so we don't need a not scored value. Penalty percentage. Let's say that for certain assignments, I do want to give a penalty for them turning in late. So I'm just going to say 10%. 10% penalty. Missing mark. Don't need that because it's not going to be missing if they turned it in. Comment code. Very important. This is the code that I'm going to actually add to my gradebook. Now, you'll notice that by default, they set up their comment codes just using 2 letters. The first one capital, the second one not capitalized, lowercase. It's up to you how you do it. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it set up like this. So LA works fine for me. Removed when scored. Since I have a penalty, I need to leave that as a no. Because if I turn this on, it can't give a penalty because it has to be in the gradebook in order for the penalty to be applied. So I don't want it removed when scored. So I'm going to leave that at no. And I'm going to click Save. Alright, so now you'll notice that it's changed a little bit. It still says late, but in parentheses it says that now I have a penalty here. It also has changed from saying district-wide below it, like the rest, to having the teacher's name instead underneath. Of course, I'm not in my grade book. I'm in another teacher's grade book since I don't actually have a grade book. So the other teacher's name is appearing here. Your name would appear under your comment if you're in your grade book and change it. Now let's say I want a brand new one. The rest that are left here, they're not meeting my needs for what I need for a comment in my grade book. So I'm going to come over here and click on New. Same thing, except all my boxes are empty this time. So I'm starting from scratch. And let's say I want a comment for not turned in. And I think did I hit a space here? I think I did. All right. So not turned in. That's my comment. Got that in there? Come over to sequence. Again, any number will do. I'll use number 1 even though it's already used. Doesn't matter. Just need a number there. not scored value. Now, this I do want a not scored value for. They decided not to turn it in, so they're getting a 0. It's going to calculate as a 0. Now, if you don't give zeros, you could make this a 50. You can make this whatever you want. I'm making it a 0. Penalty, this is their penalty. The 0 right here, so I don't worry about this box. Missing mark, yes, it's a missing assignment. It wasn't turned in, so we will give it a missing mark. Now we have to come up with the code. I'm going to just say NT to follow suit with the rest of these. Uppercase, lowercase. Removed when scored. Yes, if they do end up turning in the assignment before the end of the 9 weeks, I will give it a score, and then I want this comment to go out of the gradebook as well as the not scored value, and give them the value, maybe make it late, but give them the value of what they turned in. So now that I have this set up, I come up here and I click this insert button. Now you'll see that I have this comment code in here. And you'll see that the ones that I've edited and created, I actually have the option to delete them if I so choose. So I can always come in there and delete them, or I can come and edit them at any time. So now these are done. I have my late one with a 10% penalty. It's not going to have a missing mark, and my code is LA. Not turned in, it's going to have a not scored value of 0. It will have a missing mark, and its code is NT. So now that I've got those ready, I can go back to my gradebook. Now, before I can use these codes and have them actually appear in my gradebook so that I can see them and so that they will appear in the portals, I need to come up here to where it says filters and options. Click on that. And then in this section right here in the middle, you'll see it says show comment codes. So I want to make sure that box is checked. It's going to refresh while it does that. And while we're in here, because we talked about it and I made one of these show up as a missing mark, we're going to go ahead and click show total missing as well. And then I'm going to click done. Now I have a column over here that shows missing assignments. So far, nothing's missing. I've created this demo assignment right here worth a max of 100 points. And you'll see it's the only one in here, so all these are NAs. I thought this was the best way to show how this actually calculates the grade with the comment codes. So let's say that our first student here got a 100, our second student got a 90, our third student did not turn it in. I'm giving them the dreaded NT. Our fourth student, let's say they got an 85. And then this person, they turned it in, and it was actually a 100, but they turned it in late. So I'm going to give them the late code right there. And then we'll leave these, and you'll see, yeah, they don't calculate as normal because there's nothing listed in here. So I'm going to go to Save Changes. And when it comes up, you'll see that this person did indeed get a 100. This person did indeed get a 90. The NT, and if we hover over it, shows the means not turned in. They got a 0 because that's what I said. If that comment code is in there, I want it to calculate as a 0. And it would average in, if there were more assignments, as a 0 as well with it. This person, 85B, this person got a 100, but they turned it in late. And since that code is there, they get a 10% penalty. So it's calculating as a 90% A minus instead of the 100. Also, since NT was given a missing mark, it shows me in this column that this person has one missing assignment. And of course, that would be this not turned in one. So now that we've got these all done here, let's say that this person came up here and they actually turned it in, okay? And for whatever reason, we're not giving them a late one. They got a 90. Thread, save changes. It's 90 and it calculates as a 90 because I set it up as a comment code to have it removed if a score was entered. So that worked. This, however, does not have that. Remember, it was do not remove if a score is entered. So the only way that I can get rid of this, because if I, let's say I came in here, even if I click delete and I come up here and I click save changes, LA is still going to remain in that box, and that could be very annoying. So how do I get rid of a comment if I don't want it, but it wasn't created with the option to have it removed if a score was entered? I simply have to put an exclamation mark in that box, then click Save Changes, and it is wiped out. It is gone. So I don't have to worry about it. And now I can come in and I can add that 90 without a penalty if for a reason I wanted to do that. Or I guess it was a 100, right? 100. And so there. Then it's done. But that's how to create and use comment codes. It's actually fairly simple, just a few steps that you want to make sure you don't forget. And one of those important steps is definitely making sure that you come up to the filters and options and making sure that you have selected to show your comment codes, because without doing that, then it won't work for you. It will still calculate if you tell it to, but the codes themselves will not appear in the gradebook. So I hope that helps you. Thanks.